Hundreds of wrongly convicted sub-postmasters will have their convictions quashed thanks to new landmark legislation being introduced today.
This is a story, the Horizon scandal that we've followed so deeply on Talk. Individuals will then be entitled to at least £600,000 in compensation, whether or not that will help them rebuild their lives. Delighted to join Senior Solicitor Albert Harwood again. Albert, good morning. Somebody described the Horizon scandal as one of the biggest miscarriages of justice this country's ever seen. This law today, this piece of legislation, can you define this for me? Does everybody get exonerated? What's the facts? Because these poor people, it's been going on far too long. What does today mean?
OK, thank you. Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Nicola.
Morning.
Thank you for having me back again. The law, so this is in terms of the for convictions, people who've been convicted. There is a criteria. So in the legislation, it will set out that if people were sub-postmasters between a set period, it was the conviction included evidence from Horizon. So there's various safeguards in there.
All right, let's cut to the chase. If they've been convicted, that is quashed.
That will be quashed.
But if they haven't been convicted, or in the process of being convicted, or their lives have been flattened, bulldozed or ruined, what happens to those people?
There's different schemes. There's other schemes which will cover those people. So this is purely to do with those who've got convictions. So it's to overturn their convictions, and then following on from that will be compensation.
And it will be a flat-out £600,000, regardless of the fact that some of these people would have repaid this so-called missing money at various different levels. Some people tens of thousands, some people a lot more than that.
Well, we still have to see all the detail, but we believe that it will be that there will be the option of the 600,000 if someone...
How quickly?
Well, going on past experience, we're still here 20 years on and people are still fighting for the...
And there's still this argument going on with various people in government. Some people saying there was a rumour that certain people were told to delay making these payments. We don't quite know why. Do you think that are you sensing that there's alignment within government, or do you think there's still that infighting that has meant that...
Well, this has been going on for years. This isn't just this
yeah.
government. I'm going to have to make that point. There are all sorts of people who are, in effect, in the shop window over this. But I mean, OK, today, you say today is, you know, people's convictions will be quashed. I had a woman on JK Live who went to prison, left her 2 kids at home, remembers the door being shut, had not nicked the money. Oh, she's going to be quashed. She served the time. And she's going to have to wait more for money. I don't understand why this is not easy. I mean, you're not a politician, but the optics of somebody standing up and saying, I'm quashing all of it and I'm paying the compensation today, would be absolutely the right way to deal with this travesty.
I think the fact, Jeremy, that you gave an example of a particular person, I think highlights the fact that it's too easy to say this will cover all the people, and it's forgetting that each of these, there's an individual person who has family, they have children, as you say, people have gone to prison. People have gone to prison when they're pregnant, you know, and when they're having the baby.
People have killed themselves over
People
this.
have killed themselves. People are still waking up this morning wondering how they're going to pay for their children's food. This isn't suddenly today they're waking up and thinking, brilliant.
Solicitors take this in the right way. I've spent 5 years dealing with solicitors, are notoriously slow. I don't mean that against you. Are very methodical and whatever. Must be frustrating for you guys as well, representing these people.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had possibly, this is about the 3rd main announcement this year regarding... So when we hear the announcements, the political announcements, they're made on television, we'll get phone calls from clients who will be suddenly thinking, tomorrow, we can get on with our life. But but what's happening is that these promises are made and then nothing happens. So hopefully we have legislation that will be going through. Probably it's going to be laid before Parliament today, and then maybe will come into action in maybe July. But we also need to...
Could more be done sooner, is what I want to know from a legal point of view in your mind.
I mean, this is a political process in terms of going through the legislation. But my understanding is that it's now going as quickly as it can. But obviously, the detail has got to go through the select committees. People may be amending it.
Sure.
So we still don't know, is this definitely going to meet the needs of the sub-postmasters?
And do you need to change legislation, obviously, in order to quash convictions, but do you actually need to change legislation in order to give people compensation back? I wouldn't have thought that you would actually need to change law in order for that to happen. The government could just choose to do that.
Well, one of the issues would be where people have a conviction That would be the issue.
Right.
So this is why this is in relation to people who have convictions,
Yeah.
so that you can overturn the conviction.
And
following
give them
that, there will be...
What about the
Sorry,
people
go on.
who have taken their own lives as a result of this scandal? Are their families eligible for this kind of compensation, or will they have their convictions quashed post-death?
My understanding, it would be convicted, and then in terms of compensation, I believe it would probably go to the estate of the family. So
it's interesting, isn't it?
Say it's the detail.
It's the detail, exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all.
You talk really honestly there, Albert, about a political process. I'm talking about the human process. I don't, I spend every day talking about the optics of this government. And governments before, by the way, I'm not even getting political. To me, it's an absolute no-brainer. You quash these convictions in the quickest way possible and you pay people compensation. Let's not forget, by the way, and we did loads on this. Money's not going to bring people back. Money's not... That woman, it will haunt me forever, she said, and I sat in this cell with the door locked, hearing rapists and murderers screaming. My kids I'd left at home that morning thinking, I haven't stolen this money. 600 grand doesn't pay that back. And I think it's a disgrace. I mean, listen, as I said, this has been going on for many, many, many years and it needs sorting, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's unprecedented in terms of British legal history and also in parliamentary history now. But it's extraordinary times. It needs to be dealt with. I mean, up until now, we still don't have anyone who's been convicted or prosecuted in relation to the Post Office for people who have been involved in this miscarriage of justice.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know if did you see that select committee of the day, the one that had been sacked by Baden, Henry Staunton. He threw the chief executive under the bus, who apparently is under investigation. I mean, the whole thing stinks.
Yeah.
And we can blame. I mean, I think the thing in this country is, we blame the government, and I'm not sticking up for this government. If you've been hearing what I've been saying for the last hour and a half, but there are people, as you quite rightly say, who were running this organisation, who should be, they've been stripped of honours. They should be brought to judge. They should be brought to
They should be the
task.
ones who've ended up with a prison sentence rather than people who are innocent. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Nicola.
Albert Harwood. Thank you.